Hello, guys. My name is Carlo Moretti. I'm the co-founder and chairman of Overdroid. We are a blockchain gaming startup based in Florence, Italy. Our goal is to create immersive gaming experiences. We have a game-first approach when we build our blockchain games. And hopefully today I can share with you some useful insights about the industry. And particularly today is really a nice day because we are sharing for the first time our plans for the beta of our first title. First of all, just to break the ice a little bit, I want to know, guys, who of you is an NFT gamer? Who would consider himself or herself an NFT video gamer? Nice. And have you ever, guys, heard of Hexarchia? Nice, nice. That's great. Well, today, as I was saying, we will share a lot of new information about the game and about our plans for the next month. So enjoy. So Hexarchia is a game that is chess-inspired, is really a competitive, esports-oriented game that is played on a chessboard. How does Hexarchia differ from chess, first of all? Hexarchia is played on an hexagonal chessboard, first of all, and then it's a simultaneous games moves. In chess, you play being aware of the moves that your opponent did previously. While in Hexarchia, the moves are executed simultaneously. And you move 5 pieces per turn instead of just one in chess. The game is basically organized with an army of 7 simple troops and 1 world, which acts in the game like the king acts in chess. These worlds are historical characters that represent the greatest civilization in history. Here on the slides, for example, you can see the first generation of our worlds that represent 3 civilizations, feudal Japan, ancient Egypt, and ancient Rome. These are NFTs minted on Polygon in the number of 7,680. For each of the 6, there is 1,280. And these are utility tokens needed to enter the competitive version of the game. The game is entirely free to play. People with and without NFT, they compete in the same monthly leagues, but those with NFT, as we will learn shortly, they will have additional rights. What do you want to know about our warlords? 4 main categories. Their traits, which affect their rarity, and these are 6 traits. To give you an idea of our approach to the gaming side, these traits are, first of all, the historical background. So depending on the civilization of your world, it will be more aggressive, more defensive, or more strategic, with a more balanced combat style. Then there is the intellect. The intellect of your world affects is experience. So it's an experience multiplier. It can be either average intellect, it can be clever, or it can be a genius. If it's a genius, the multiplier is ×2. And then there are 4, let's say, more physical traits that affect the lumen, which is needed to earn our currencies. So just to give you an idea of this. Then the worlds have this lumen, which is what determines the player ability to earn inside the game. Depending on the rarity of the world, the lumen will be different. So you want to get a world which has a higher level of lumen in order to win a higher amount of currency. The worlds can also be leveled up, tells to the experience of these worlds. The more games you play, the more experience they gain, and the more levels up they can get up to level 10. And finally, they have energy. This is different than lumen, but it means that these NFTs, they can be used a limited amount of times per day. So for example, 11.1 world, very low rarity, can only play 5 games per day. And the more you play with it, the more you level it up, the more games it can play. So this is an idea of our worlds. So they give you P2E rewards. These rewards come daily into your wallet thanks to Polygon. And they're also allowed for scholarships. So in case you have a vast army of warlords and you cannot play with them every day, you can rent them out on our website. And finally, there will be also an airdrop for the warlords holders when we will approach the beta in the next months. Everything that I'm presenting today will come in autumn, so we are ahead of time now. Then we have this ecosystem token, which is really important inside our robust economic design that we have been developing over the past few months. This is an economic, it's an ecosystem token with 4, let's say, pillars. It's a governance token, since it allows for the vizier election. You might remember the vizier from the Middle Age culture. So we have a council of community members that will be elected and we will be initially governing the game with us, and then in the second moment they will be governing the community, the game by themselves. That's of course in a long time, because we act on a long time frame. It's not only a governance token, it's also an asset management token, because it allows the holders to have a say on the large slice of the total supply that we are allocating to the DAO, which is 25%. It's also a voting token, because it will allow the holders to vote for future updates of the video game. Also things like creating a short movie, or creating comics about the game, or new expansions, maybe even a physical version of the game can be. And finally, it's a yield generating token. We have studied a lot the industry in the past months. So the approach that we have done is the following. Sorry for this. We have released the alpha and the NFTs during, let's say, the NFT bull market. We decided not to release the tokens because we felt, building this since 2019, 2020, looking at what was happening in 2021, it was pretty evident that, you know, there were too many games coming out of nowhere, and so it was, at least for us, it was not like the right moment to launch the tokens. So we have studied the market, and what is happening with this yield generating is that 50% of all the in-game currency spent inside the game for the activities I'm going to mention now is going to Exodia holders, the ecosystem, while the other 50% is going to the DAO. So we, as founders, we will be earning as holders of the ecosystem currency, basically. And this is a really innovative business model where definitely, like, we are community members, like when the final game is released, we are basically community members. Then I want to mention, this is a 3-currency economic system. There are 2 in-game tokens. One is needed for in-game activities, while the other one is needed for crafting new weapons. For example, future generation of warlords will be recruited with our in-game currency, and those that have the first generation, the Exodus generation, they will get to recruit the future generation first. This is really important. I want to stress it because, you know, you don't want to just have one warlord, you know, because again, there is a limited amount of games you can do per day. So the future generation, they will give the warlord less lumen, but they will also have a lower value. So you will, that will allow you to have a broader army. Then you use the in-game currency to forge new weapons. I want to spend some time for the forging because I think it's really important. So we push the fungible part of the economy, but also the non-fungible part of the economy, because the final game will be a game where different gamers can do different kind of activities. We know that not all gamers are like, you know, they compete to be on the top of the rank and to earn currency. There are more artistic people that like to craft, more people that like to trade and stuff like that. So the forging is really important. The forging allows to... Okay. Yeah, now it's better. Sorry for the noise. So there are different kind of weapons. There is one-hand weapon, like for example a Roman gladius. There is the shield, and then there is the two-hands weapon. You can equip them to your simple troops as well as to your warlords, and they will increase the lumen of your army. That's it. And how does that work? The weapon can also be a non-NFT weapon. And that's how you actually collect it at first. To make it an NFT weapon, you need to forge two non-NFT weapons to create the NFT. This is really important also for onboarding non-NFT people, because we allow them not to play the game without the wallet and then to gradually get to familiarize with the blockchain. So this is the quality, and then there is the rarity of the NFT, which is like the worlds, basically. The third currency is needed to forge new weapons. This is a third currency. We are not selling to private investors. We are not selling to the public. This is a token that is exclusively created burning weapons. So when you burn an NFT, you receive this third in-game currency, which is needed together with other in-game currency to craft new weapons. We inserted this third currency because we understood that there was an imbalance with the new generation of additional NFTs, and so we created this balanced economic system. I also want to mention for the weapons, sorry, that the weapons also have durability like the worlds. So after a few games, depending on the rarity, they need to get repaired. And so you want to pay the in-game currency to do that. You can still keep it to your warlords, to your army, but they will not affect your lumen and thus your earning opportunities. You pay the in-game currency to restore the energy of your world and to re-roll quests. So here also we get really nicely into the game part of the game, because the quests are 35 as of today. We have designed 35 weekly quests, and each player gets assigned 7 randomly generated quests every week. 3 classic, 2 epic, and 1 legendary. If you complete all of them, you even get the divine quest. If you solve a quest, you get a relic. And that's where we hide, where the non-NFT weapon is inside. To open the relic, you need a key. And that key is hidden around our highly detailed historical maps, and you can only get it after you win 1 game. So let's say you complete a quest, a weekly quest, but you don't win any game during the week, then you don't find the key to open the quest. So just, to give you an idea of the complexity also of the experience in a way for the user. Then we will have these weapon buffs, which is basically what we call the ascension system. Our weapons are deflationary. It means that you can level it up, and to get the higher level, you need to burn 2 of the same level. So, for example, our Genesis NFTs are 1,000 at level 1. Level 2, they will be 500, and then there is the third level. The relics update, and there is, coming next some updates. How you earn the in-game currency? You win the game, basically. You win our, the higher the level of your warlord and the higher the level of your weapons, the more you get. And then there is the monthly leagues. The monthly leagues are really important because they, again, allow non-NFT gamers and NFT gamers to compete in the same league. So we really push to see who's really good regardless of their belongings. This is also important for guilds to select the best players. They can fight on the rank the players without the NFTs and onboard them in their guild. And these leagues will be massively important events at the end of the month because they will have very interesting prizes pool for the players. There are 7 ranks, already 7 leagues, and everyone will start at the first for sure. It will take some months to see the first person in the last two leagues. So here there is a little typo. It should be future developments. There is this auto-updater which is coming. By the way, the game, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but it's playable since 6 months. You can download it for free. We didn't have the auto-updater for this time. And, so basically we didn't update the game because otherwise it would have required all the players to download it again. If we do it 3 times in 6 months, we lose a lot of them. So with auto-updater, very important thing, the abilities of the civilization, the Romans, with the shields that are more defensive. And for example, the shrinking of the chessboard, which is also a really cool feature that we really want. So there is basically every game is 20 turns. And the idea is the more the turns, the closer the chessboard, let's say. It shrinks as the turn counts goes on. And then we are also doing a huge UE revamp. Basically, if you have already the game downloading in your laptop, so it's a PC game for the moment. It's built on a real engine. I didn't mention that, so we push also the graphics to the limit. And it's a PC game then the final version will come for mobile as well. So you will see there will be a completely new interface. Also, the website is coming into with a new design. And then there are stuffs that are coming, more far in the future, like land, NFT customization, and some of the farming and the crafting that I described. So it's more or less it. I forgot to put the slide of the team. We are 4 founders, 3 Italians, 1 guy from Peru. And we have worked over this, basically some history of the project. The idea to create a blockchain game came out in summer 2019. Again, we were NFT gamers back in 2017, 2018. We did the Degen trading back then. We survived the bear market once at least. We ride the DeFi summer, but we were not satisfied with the games of the time. So we decided to create our own. And we immediately brought it to the University of Florence, where we were incubated before the pandemic. And in January 2020, they gave us the prize as the best startup idea. And since then, basically, it was initially presented as a risk game, so more like of a World War III scenario. There was Trump, Putin fighting, sorry, maybe because I said that. And then we turned into the chess in May 2020. We create the prototype, we do the NFT sale, and now we are here, basically, narrating the story. And yes, so if you have any questions, I'm really open to take them. Maybe I was not clear in explaining something. We will, of course, so this is the first time I shared this. The detailed white paper will be shared in the next weeks or months. We wait the right time for this. Now it's circulating privately, but again, if you have any questions, I'm happy to take it.
Mm-hmm. And did you think about that one token can be traded for the other? So like outside of the market, you can change the one utility token into the other one. So it's not exclusively for burning the item, like you can where you have an exchange rate between these 2 tokens then.
Yeah, that's what founders shouldn't do, encourage the buying of the in-game currency for financial purposes, right? The teleumit is something, again, we are not selling to private investors, we are not selling to the public. There will be, a pair, of course, with a strong currency. So the liquidity pools, we will most likely create them on SushiSwap, but definitely DEX that support Polygon. We will create the pairs with each of the 3 currencies and the hard currencies, and then, of course, a pair in-game to in-game currency can come in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
I have a question, actually. What were some of the most challenging questions that you had to answer when coming up with the tokenomics for the game?
Yeah, I mean, definitely there was a lot of concern regarding the sustainability of the tokenomic model, because generally the guilds, the investors, the community, they see that a lot of games have failed to deliver on the robustness and long-term sustainability of their economies. We see many things happening. I'm not going to mention any other projects, but there is a lot of loss of trust, you know. So they go really deep to understand the core loop, you know, and to understand the feasibility. For example, I can try to kind of deconstruct my own presentation. This is not the final version of the game. For example, the absence of land and crafting materials and is really a huge problem, because it does not allow for diversification of gaming gamer experiences, you know. So. And that's important. So you want to have the streamer, you want to have the crafter, you want to have the computer, and that stuff like that. Well, if there isn't other questions, I'll be around, and see you later, guys. It was really nice. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Berlin.